Moment number 8, where no woman had gone before. Pat Jackson, who was a basketball coach at the University of Saskatchewan, had a feel for history. In 1973, she was the only woman to be an athletic director at a major university in North America. Pat was an impact player, especially in women's sports. She helped start the Women's Intercollegiate Union in Canada. She was coach of the national women's basketball team. Because of Pat Jackson, the game changed for women in sports.
In my view, it was purely circumstantial. The college was very small at that time. The athletic programs had just merged into one. I had been involved in some of the women's programming, and I think just circumstances really that got me there. So did I go in with great aspirations that I was going to turn the world around? I don't think so. I did feel that in some ways there was inequity between sport programming for females and sport programming for males. In some respects, that might have turned around a little bit while I was athletic director.
She certainly had the experience to do the job, and it seemed to me that it was a natural progression for her to become athletic director.
And a number of the things that she did through her life and before she came to Saskatchewan, while she was at Saskatchewan and since, was to establish the fact that if you're going to have a hockey team for men, you're going to have a hockey team for women. Or if you're not, they certainly have the right to have it, and that they get an equal part of the budget.
She's convicted in what she believes, and one thing I think about in terms of her feelings on equity, and equity, male-female equity, even equity amongst sports programs offered at a university. And we have, discussions about that she's was a coach of a basketball team, but I think she was also concerned about other programs in the school and not just her program. And I think that speaks to who she is, that she was concerned about other programs as well as not just vested interest in her own.
Well, Pat was always a great advocate for women in sport. And I think if there's a legacy, and if you looked closely at the work that she did, the contributions that she made, I think she was one of those, I don't know if you'd call her a pioneer, but perhaps in furthering women in sport.